Hello friends, neighbors, John, your whiskey neighbor here. Welcome to the Nook. It's Sunday and I want to shoot a couple of samples. Both of these come from Whisky Drop. Great people. And they have a number of Lost Lantern releases that are new to Canada in general. And I'm very fortunate to have a couple samples. So what I have today is a sample from Lost Lantern. I think it was the Vatted Malt #1 release. And then I've got a sample of their Starlight Rye. Don't know the number of that release. Thought it was further down, but I have some details on it. So if you have any American single malt or rye, both of these are near cask strength. I wrote down 53, 56, something like that percentage. So these are a bit stronger. If you have anything like that, when you pour a dram, or if you have anything from Lost Lantern, either of these two, that'd be even better. So when you pour a little bit, and when we come back, I'll nose and taste. It's samples, so there's no rating. It's just experience from Lost Lantern, a Vatted Malt, and basically a cask strength rye. 3, 4. Well, thanks for coming back. As I was trying to say in the opener, I've got some samples from Lost Lantern. Now, Lost Lantern, I think I had 4 samples to begin with. Last time I shared a bit more of the history, but in general, Nora and Adam work in the industry, have worked in the industry as either brand ambassadors or I can't remember what else, single cask selectors kind of thing. And they got together and thought, just as we have a number of independent bottlers over in the UK looking at Scotch, we didn't have that many here in North America. And so they built Lost Lantern and worked directly with distilleries, often smaller distilleries, and buy single casks or a couple casks here and there and try their own blends or their own vatting or their own re-aging to release some interesting and some character releases. I actually like the concept of independent bottling, especially when they're clear and transparent. It does give you a chance to taste a distillery different from a core range release. I think that's kind of cool. So the first one that I have here is Lost Lantern Vatted Malt. I believe it's #1, and I'll put in a description here how many malts in here, but I believe it's 12 different American single malts from I think I saw Westland and I saw Balcones, and I'm not sure what else I saw in there, but it was pretty cool. The different small distilleries, 12 of them. They tasted, they sampled, they got together, and they vatted them, and this is their release. I think it's 52.5%, so it's all malted barley. It's a vatting of 12 single malts. I'll put it that way. Let's try it, nose and palate. For its ABV, and it's youthful. I've heard it's only a few years. That is interesting. It's lemon zest. Yeah, there's already some sweetness, vanilla, a little floral. But there's something else behind it, some dusty something going on that I don't quite have a handle on yet. And maybe I will after a little bit of a sip. So, cheers. There's good character in here. I would say like gingerbread spices, oaks, a little bit of almond. Another sip. It's pretty aggressive. I'll try it with a little bit of water on the way back. The lemon in the nose didn't really come through in the palate here. A little more softer apple fruit cut orchard. Not that much. It's actually fairly spicy or hot. So the spice would be, I did say ginger. I'll stay with that. Add a bit of nutmeg, but there's a heat. So there is a hotter cinnamon or a little pepper, but it's also just hot. The oaking is really nice though. It's kind of drying a little bit, and then the malt sugars get to come through at the end. It's good up front. Feels a bit youthful, and I wasn't expecting. I mean, I know it's young, but when this many awesome people sit through casks and decide on a blend, even if it is actually young, it should hold together. And it is. It is, but it actually is warmer than I expected. So trying a single cask of Starlight Rye. I believe Starlight Distillery is in Indiana. And this is an 85% rye and 15% malted barley, I think. I also believe they age them in smaller drums. I think that was part of the information, 53-gallon drums, that kind of thing. And it's a bit stronger in ABV than this. This was 52 and a half. I think this is 56 and a third or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but something like that. So this is a rye, and this one is 4 years, 4 months. Give it a try. Nose and palate. Nice, strong, bold rye. It's definitely got sweeter spices, sweeter cinnamons. Reminds me of a red candy apple. Very much. A little bit of herbal note on the nose, not too much right up front. Let's try it on the palate. Cheers. Very interesting. Now this is spicy. I know I was saying that here, but this is absolutely cinnamons and peppers and a sweetness, though. I still like that sugared candy apple analogy today because it's got a really sweet, almost a candied note to it, but powerful. Lots of punch in this one. It's got a kick and spice hugging in here, but it holds together like I want a rye. I want a rye to kind of toss me around a little bit. That's just doing it with a really nice sweet wrap around. Like if there's a little cherry in here, it's that maraschino cherry, which works because it's got that nice peppering too on this edge. Another quick sip. That is a tremendous rye. It's a rye. So there is a little bit of herbaceous notes in there, herbal eucalyptus. Not a ton, but it's got a little bit of that going on too. So I'm going to hit both of these with a bit of water and see what kind of secondary flavors I can get at each. Okay, I've put a bit of water in both. We're talking about Lost Lantern Vatted Malt and Lost Lantern Starlight Rye. The Vatted Malt, remember, it's about 12 or so distilleries, I believe, single malts put together and married. This has a bit of water on it. I think that did the nose some good. It's almost creamy. And yeah, it's got an interesting nut or husk or like the malt. I know I say that a lot in the name, but that malty, grainy. It's almost. I've been having a lot of porridge lately, and it's a little bit like that, kind of cooked together with a little bit of that ginger. Try it on the palate with water. I'd say now it's become a little bit more of that characteristic American single malt, where it's got those malty flavors that you get when you get Scotch, but it has quite a bit more oaks and wood balancing it out, which is a characteristic for me when I pick up American single malt right now, and I like it. And if I was going for it, this is a nicer with a bit of water. This actually opened up a little bit, and now the flavor palette and oaks are better marrying for me. So a bit of water, that's better. Trying the Starlight Rye with a bit of water. It's still nice, light, fresh. Cinnamon, red apple, or light cherry. Let's try it on the palate. Cheers. Actually, I think water helped both of these, which is great. Often water will bring in a few second flavors. Here, it absolutely took off just enough of the heat, but it didn't wash it out. It still feels good in the mouth. It still's got lots of character, lots of pepper and sprightliness. In these two here, this blend of single malts, vatting of single malts, is unique, and it's got great flavors. Didn't grab my heart today. It's good, but I've had other American single malts that are half that price. I'm like, they're pretty good too. This rye actually did capture my heart or my mind, and I would think about getting a bottle of this one for me, and it's my palate. It's a big rye, 85%, 50, like 85% rye, 56% ABV. So, you know, if you're not already liking rye and on that rye journey, I wouldn't recommend it. It's pretty big and hot, but it's got a lot of character and good flavor, and I'm really enjoying it. And I will enjoy the rest of this sample. Thanks again to the good folk at Whisky Drop that shared a few of these when I came in the other day. I appreciate it tremendously. And I'm curious, if any of you have had something from Lost Lantern, if you've had the Vatted Malt or the Starlight Rye, why don't you drop in and share your thoughts below? I'd love to hear them. It's always just my thoughts. And with samples, I literally poured out the whole sample right here, hit record, and we enjoyed it together. Thanks for dropping in. You guys have a good week.